afternoon, everybody. We're getting ready for game two. Things are running just a little bit behind today. We're still working on the ZAM cut between games two and three of the Cowbell Cup. During game two, the Dubuque Fighting Saints won over the Waterloo Blackhawks 4-2. So we'll get some music back going and let the ZAM cut finish up, and then we'll get streaming this game. All right, Cedar Rapids fans, the ZAM is just finishing up the cut now. We've got officials out, and we've got the team in the tunnel starting to get ready to go. Starting in net for game two is going to be Iris Erickson. She's a second-year 12U, who's going to be wearing some really sharp-looking black pads and a mostly white helmet. Officials are working on getting the nets into place, and they will be beckoning the teams out very, very shortly to start the game today. Like game one, we're going to have our 3-minute warm up and then two 16-minute running clock periods, followed by a 12-minute stop clock. Following the results from the earlier game today, your Riders are still looking for their first win. And we have a new face on the bench today. Our other new coach working with the team this season, LT, has joined us on the bench for this second game of activities. Arena staff is working on getting the ZAM door area cleaned up, and then the ice will be free for the players to use. All right, your doors are closing. Looks like officials are ready to go. As soon as Waterloo shows up, we will be ready to rock and roll. Both teams are now out on the ice, getting warmed up for this afternoon's game between your Cedar Rapids Roughriders and the Waterloo Blackhawks. Number of players stretching out. Your Roughriders still hanging out in their very nice, shiny white jerseys. Your Waterloo Blackhawks are coming out in their road blacks. Officials are the same two from the game earlier today. Pucks are out, and Iris is going to get to see some shots to get warmed up for this second game. We've got about 2 minutes left in the game today, or 2 minutes left in the warm-ups. Initial look from today was warm-up. Those passes are looking a little bit crisper as we get ready for this game today. Nice and hard. About 45 seconds left in the warm-up. For game two, to be able to have some success, we're going to need to really get on our horse for this afternoon's game. This is a quick team that we're playing against, and so the riders will need to keep their heads on a swivel and their legs moving to be able to keep up. Pucks are getting cleaned up. Referees grabbing a couple of pucks to use for the game, checking the nets just to make sure that there's no extra pucks hanging out in there. We'll get the doors closed and get rocking with game two today. Again, Iris Erickson is your starting goalie for your Cedar Rapids Roughriders, wearing the very classic number 1. We'll get the starting lineups as soon as they get out of the huddle. All right, looks like your starting center is going to be Corbin Zach. Alongside him, Ellis Palmer and Jackson Baker. On your defensive line, we've got Maverick Rasmussen and Liam Smith. Fans are ready. Fonda's ready. Let's go, Riders. Referee got the puck on the opening faceoff. Waterloo wins the puck. Jackson Baker on the forecheck. Pass down to the blue line. Corbinzek trips over the faceoff dot. Gets past, hit straight at him. Ellis Palmer skating into the zone, looping it around, trying to start the forecheck and get the cycle started. Corbin gets it on the corner, tries to bring it up to the point, intercepted by Waterloo, cleared out of the zone to Liam Smith. Liam tries to pass it back into Jackson Baker. Got a Waterloo player right on him. We're breaking down into a quick 3-on-1. Big save from Iris Erickson. Liam clears the puck out from behind the net. Jackson Baker pressuring. Puck up to the point. Back down to the corner. Maverick now trying to pressure. Liam Smith with the Waterloo player behind the net. Getting the puck. Up to Jackson Baker on the wing. Intercepted by Waterloo. Puck then intercepted by Corbin Zach. Pressure on the forecheck from Ellis Palmer. Corbin overskates the puck. And now it is stolen by Waterloo. Skating it into the zone. Offside. Neutral zone face-off coming. Looks like for the second game, we've got Clara centering with Wyatt and Jackson Jur, DJ Elliott, and Brett Johnson on the defensive end. DJ with the puck tries to pass it to Jackson Jur, misses, and we have an icing. Puck now back down to the defensive zone. Score is still 0-0, a couple minutes into this game. Roughriders generally having a hard time winning faceoffs, which definitely makes it hard to have possession. Waterloo wins the puck. Shot from the point, off the net. Spun back in behind the net to Breck Johnson. Swung around to Wyatt. DJ steals the puck from the Waterloo defender. Stuck in his feet now. Passes it up. Missed Wyatt Monty. Waterloo player tries to knock it back into the zone and gets blocked by a Cedar Rapids player and then cleared out of the zone. Waterloo player has it, winding up with some speed. This kid is extremely quick and has got a very good handle on the puck, but lost it there. Puck is loose. Got a whistle. Frozen puck. No, Roughriders doing a good job of boxing out the Waterloo players from around the net and able to get a stoppage. Next lineup is your Jack Kettleson, Flynn Hansen, and Jackson Hunt line. George Lanyo and Gavin Sebring out on defense with them. Waterloo wins the faceoff. Cedar Rapids is able to pressure it and get out of the zone. Pass off of a stick getting into the zone. Jack Kettleson skating behind the net looking for breakout opportunities. Pass up to Flynn Hansen. Able to handle it. Puck into the zone. Jackson Hunt trying to skate to find some space. No space found. Puck comes out. Gavin Sebring mishandles. Locked by Flynn Hansen on the slap shot from the point. Gavin Sebring working hard down the defensive zone. Passed it out to Jackson Hunt. Pass was missed. And Waterloo has it in the defensive zone. Jackson Hunt trying to bring out the forecheck. Jack Kettleson with the steal, skating in, reached it, and we've got a goal, Riders. Jack Kettleson laying in the weeds of the blue line, gets the puck, sends it over the goalie's glove hand into the roof where Mama keeps the peanut butter. Beautiful shot, goal, Rough Riders. Everyone getting lined up for the ensuing face-off. You've got Zach Palmer, Baker, and Smith and Rasmussen. Liam Smith able to angle well to knock a Waterloo player off the puck. Waterloo brings it into the zone. Corbin providing some pressure. Pass that ends up as a shot on net. Iris with the save. And puck is frozen. Coming up on 5 minutes into the first period here. Your Rough Riders are up 1-0 on the Waterloo Black face-off. Waterloo wins the puck. Shot off of the side of the net. Maverick Rasmussen behind the net. Passes up to Jackson Baker off of his stick. Comes back down. They're able to get the puck out. Bouncing puck. Corbin's putting on some pressure in the defensive zone for a forecheck. Ellis Palmer now putting on some pressure on the forecheck, able to block the puck. Corbin Zek now there, turning into offense. Ellis with the puck, pass towards the front, loose, beside the net. No Rough Riders there. Waterloo skating it out. Puck gets centered, off of a stick, into Maverick Rasmussen. And now we're going to have an icing. Rough Riders coming out with a pretty strong effort, being able to keep the play a little bit more even than we saw the last game. Lining up for this face-off, we've got Claire right in the middle, Wyatt and Jackson Jur, DJ and Brett on the defensive line. Face-off win from Waterloo. Shot on net, off the goalie's glove. Pass out to the front, blocked by DJ. Pass back up to the point. Into the middle, where you had two Rough Riders that both missed it. Off the side of the net. Well, that one stung DJ a little bit. He's skating with one leg, looking a bit like a flamingo getting over to the bench. Got a full line change for your Riders after that little bit of a rough shift in the defensive zone. We've got the Jackson and Flynn line. Face off won by the Riders. Waterloo skating around. Puck back to the point. Now back to Blair. Flynn manages to knock it out of the zone. Jackson Hunt putting on some pressure on the forward check. Jack Kettleson able to knock the puck off. Puck back in the Waterloo hands, off of the side of the net. Iris knocks it behind the net. Gavin Sebring ends up falling over the net. George knocking it around. Unfortunately, hits a bad spot in the boards and knocks out in front of the net. Shot from Waterloo and score. Now got a tie game. All tied up here in Cedar Rapids as we've got Riders 1, Hawks 1, 7:43 left in the first period. Ensuing face-off has Zach, Palmer, and Baker out there with Rasmussen and Smith as the defensemen. Face-off won by Waterloo. D-to-D pass, trying to get a breakout off of the stick and into the Waterloo zone. They tried to clear it out, and it got past the defenseman and into the defensive zone. Liam wins the race back. Baker with the puck. Knocked off of his stick. Cedar Rapids able to get it out. Corbin's now in a race with the defenseman. Didn't quite win that race. Pass went from D to D for the Riders, and wow, we have an icing as we had a pass trying to get into the zone that missed everybody. Face off back in the Riders' defensive zone. Got Clara, Crosby, and Wyatt out there, along with DJ and Brett. Looks like DJ shook off that shot that he blocked. Face off down, won by the Riders. Crosby taking it up the outside, able to skate it out. Puck's knocked off of his stick. We've got Breck now putting in chase. DJ with the puck, knocked off of his stick. Very good play behind the net to keep him from coming out. Puck ended up going out. No icing here. Jackson Jerp or Crosby is applying your forechecking pressure. Puck gets through to DJ. Matt tried to pass it back in, and it managed to get into a Waterloo player. Breck with a steal on the blue line. Got two people in front of him. Stick handled around the outside. Backhanded pass in the middle. Missed. Crosby with a whack at the puck, but it was covered, and we have a frozen puck on the offensive zone. Goalie's left side. 5 minutes left in this first period. We've now got the Jack Jackson and Flynn line. Face-off lost by Cedar Rapids. Pass out to the slot, intercepted by Waterloo. The Waterloo goal scorer skating hard. Shot saved by Iris. Breakout pass up to Jackson Hunt. Pass up to Jack Pettleson. Pass back over to Jackson Hunt, trying to maneuver around the Waterloo defenseman. Jackson Hunt's providing a nice bit of pressure. Puck is out and loose. Taken by George Lanyo, poked off of his stick. Puck back out front. Gavin Sebring making sure to work hard and be able to knock the puck off of his stick. Lynn and Jack Pettleson trying to battle for the puck. Gavin Sebring knocked it past the defenseman, but puck got stopped in the corner. Still there. Now knocked back in the corner again. Jackson Hunt going to retrieve. And knocked off of his stick. Hard shot from the point. Off the net. Or off the boards behind the net. Jack Pettleson with the steal. Up to Gavin Sebring. Up to Jackson Hunt. And we got a penalty on Waterloo for a body check. So your Riders are going to have a power play here late in the first period. Your power play line is going to be George Lanyo, Jack Pettleson, Claire Domke on your forward part, Maverick Rasmussen, and Gavin Sebring as your D. Face-off is won by the Riders, back to the D. Point to point, Maverick Rasmussen with the puck, shot hard, off of the goalie, and now back down lower in the zone. Roughriders working to get it set up. Off the side of the net. George Lanyo, or Gavin Sebring was able to stop it, but puck was then stolen from him. Waterloo coming in on a breakaway. Iris with the save. Defensive zone face-off upcoming. About 40 seconds left in the power play here. Second power play group coming out. It looks like it is Ellis and Corbin and Jackson Baker. Jackson Baker with the puck. Riders win another face-off here. Some contact. Got falling down on the blue line. Waterloo coming in strong with the puck. Now Riders grouping behind the net. Errant pass off of a Waterloo player. Offside. Reminder, in 12U hockey, it is offside as soon as the puck goes in. If there's somebody in an offside position, this is not like the NHL where it'll be delayed until the opposing team gets the puck. All right, penalty is going to be over as soon as the puck is dropped. Waterloo wins. Puck went through Maverick's feet and off of the post. Jackson Hunt trips over the boards. Puck goes back out beside the net. But unfortunately, no danger from that. Liam Smith with a pick off. Number of kids swinging and missing on the puck right now. Oops. Got a big collision behind the net. And shot from the point and score Waterloo. Cedar Rapids having trouble getting it out of the zone there. And unfortunately, puck ends up in the back of the net. Face off won by Waterloo. Waiamati putting on some pressure. Puck blocked from DJ. And that looks like it stung. Puck still loose behind the net. $20 left in the period. Got an extra piece that apparently has come out. Sitting on the ice. Hopefully it'll get cleaned up quick. Face off won by the Roughriders. Clark Johnson skating it out behind the net. Trying to start the breakout. And that is the end of the first period. We've got our first intermission coming up. Riders down 2-1. Rough Riders are battling hard for this. And had a couple of unfortunate bounces that led to a couple of goals against. Lots of shots against, but not a lot from the real dangerous areas. Overall, very clean first period from a penalty standpoint. Not like from the first game this morning, where there were a lot of penalties in the first period. Teams are starting to break up and get ready to get lined up for your second period face-off. Looks like your second period is going to start off with your Jack Jackson and Flynn line, along with Maverick and Liam as your defensive core. Face off one by your Riders. Jack Peddleson keeps the puck, skates it into the zone. A little bit of a contact there. Waterloo able to keep the puck, skating around. Pass out to Breakout. Puck gets into the zone and right back out from a stick. Puck goes back in, knocked off of the player's stick. Jack Kettleson with the puck. Knocked off of his stick into the neutral zone. People losing where the puck is. Pass back up to Jack Kettleson in the middle of the ice. Couple guys right on top of each other. Puck now into the zone. Flynn in chase. Waterloo bringing the puck in, skating it down center ice, and offside. Another line change. The um, everyone right now is lined up completely backwards, so players aren't even switch sides. We've got the Claro, Wyatt, and Crosby line. Shot goes in off of DJ's skates. Now behind the net. Puck was missed. Brett Johnson down there knocked it up. Waterloo steals, able to start taking it back down. DJ tries to knock it out. Back down around the wheel to the other side. Pass it out to the slot. Miss. Pressure in hard on a Waterloo player. Pass over into the slot. Miss the net. Loose puck. Shot on. Saved by Iris. DJ with the puck on his feet. Passes it out. Looks like puck's going to go down for an icing. Up, waved off because it slowed down at the last second. Player in, trying to make a steal. Pass in, but that was off target, but stopped by the goalie anyway. Waterloo starts winding it up from behind their net. Puck knocked off their stick. There is a 2-on-2 coming on right now. Riders get it in, but then stopped right away, and Waterloo's coming back. Nice shot that gets through the goalie and score Waterloo. All right, after the face-off, Cedar Rapids brings it back into the zone. Offensively trying to swing it from D to D behind the net. Gavin Sebring with it, passes it up to Jackson Baker. Jackson into the middle for Corbin. Good stick from Waterloo, knocks it off his stick and stops the rush attempt. Waterloo bringing it down the side, stop and start. Up to the point. Pass from side to side, deflected and out of the zone. Corbin with some good pressure to get it beside the boards. Waterloo able to bring it in, pass across the slot. Shot off the goalie, big save. Pass into the middle, and was a blocked shot there. Cedar Rapids just chasing right now. Jackson Baker steals the puck. Got a 3-on-2 developing. Waterloo was able to turn it off fairly effectively, and they're turning around. The pass was errant and ended up going back into the zone for an icing. Defensive zone faceoff upcoming for the Cedar Rapids Roughriders. to the right-hand side of the goalie. Got Jack Kettleson out there. Face off won by Jack Kettleson, knocked off of his stick. And now out of the zone. Jackson Hunt with some pressure, knocked it off his stick. Able to kick it with his foot, but too far in front of him. Waterloo able to get control of the puck again. Waterloo now on a 3-on-1 rush, turned off effectively by Maverick Rasmussen. Trying to pass the puck and losing our footing in the center of the ice is Flynn Hansen, and Waterloo comes in with the puck. Another shot in front of the net, missed the goalie. Waterloo still battling hard, bringing it up. Passed in, missed everybody. And then we've got an ice coming. Icing on your Roughriders. Having a hard time connecting passes in this second period. Ensuing face-off, Waterloo wins. Out to the slot, stopped a blocked shot. DJ rings it around to Brett. Got a little bit of time, up to Wyatt, but intercepted. Off of the Waterloo player, blocked by DJ behind the net. Pass up to Wyatt, and now out of the zone. Pass up for Jackson Jerp, ended up being a little bit off target. Pass up to Wyatt. Knocked off of his stick. Waterloo coming in with numbers. DJ gets it behind the net. Passes it up to Jackson Jerf. Misses him. Ends up as a shot on net. Passed it back around. Trying the other side now. Breck Johnson has it. Passed up to Wyatt. And not out of the zone yet. Blocked by defenseman. Now back out again. Wyatt in a race. Navigates around the defenseman. Has the opportunity. Shot and saved by the goalie with a beautiful little windmill. Good opportunity for your Roughriders there, connecting a couple of passes finally, and being able to get a nice looking shot on goal. Face off won by your Riders. Puck bouncing around in the slot. Knocked off the stick, out of the zone. Got a 2-on-1 developing for Waterloo. Puck bouncing around again. Off of a stick behind the net. Gavin Sebring behind the net. Able to navigate around a defender. Gaining some speed, working his way out of the zone. Gavin Sebring with a weak shot into the corner. Ellis able to get it out front. Another shot from Corbin that is off the net. And Waterloo got it out of the zone. Almost had a 3-on-1. Saved by Iris. Six minutes, 50 seconds left in the second period here. We've got the Jack Jackson and Flynn Light out with Liam and Maverick on the D-line. Face-off won by the Riders. Trying to break it out the same side that the face-off is on. Bunch of Waterloo players in the way. Not successful. Pass across the shot. Or pass across the slot and a shot. Puck's now behind the net. Tried to bank it in off the goalie and did. Goal Waterloo. ensuing face-off is won by Jack Kettleson, skating it in, trying to work his way through some traffic, backhanded it down into the zone. Jackson Hunter forced forechecker in, Flynn Hansen on the other side of the goal. Waterloo's able to navigate it fairly effectively. Breck Johnson with a great stick slows down that breakout. Flynn able to knock the puck off the stick. Jackson Hunt bringing it in. Able to kick it down a little bit further. Flynn Hansen lying in the weeds with a shot that bounces off the goalie. Now Waterloo bringing the puck out with some numbers and some speed. Got a 2-on-1. DJ playing in the one. Shot goes in off the goalie. Puck against the boards. Jack Kettleson effectively finding it, trying to bring it up. Getting hounded by a Waterloo player. Jackson Hunt checks the kid over. And we have a penalty to your Roughriders. Waterloo's going on the power play here with 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in your second period. Got a full line change for your Riders, who are playing shorthanded again. Off the face-off, Waterloo wins. Shot blocked by Gavin Seabury. Has a puck stolen off of his stick. Waterloo player chops it behind the net. Maverick Rasmussen tries to clear it up off of a stick. Jackson Jerf with the puck, skating in, and took it to the corner. Pass out off of the defenseman's stick. Waterloo coming in with some speed. Puck off the back of the net. And stuffed there. We're going to have a face-off down in the offensive zone. 30 seconds remaining in the penalty to Hunt. Face-off win to Waterloo. Shot in and scored. With 1 second left on the power play, Waterloo's able to put a long shot from the point in. And the score is now 5-1 Waterloo over your Roughriders. Three minutes and 22 seconds left in your second period. Got a somewhat new line here. So we've got Jack Kettleson, Corbin Hunt, and Flynn out together. Jack with a weak shot in, off of the goalie, behind the net now. Corbin able to retrieve. Tried to pass it out to the middle to Jack Kettleson. Shot blocked. Puck's behind the net. Liam racing over to keep it in the zone. Able to do it effectively. Puck's now behind the net again to a Waterloo player. Jack Kettleson on the pressure. Corbin intercepts a pass up for a breakout, but unfortunately is off of his stick. Waterloo able to bring it in. Back check pressure very good. Puck's now in the corner. Lane Smith has it, tries to pass it up to Flynn, off of the stick and into the zone. Waterloo player missed the puck, but there was a bad pass that missed its target. Puck knocked into the zone. You got a 1-on-0. Able to be saved. Glenn Hansen trying to get it out. Jack Kettleson now with the puck. Offside, Cedar Rapids. Clara's taking the face off. Got a new line of Clara, Baker, and Ellis, it looks like. Baker providing the pressure. Puck goes down into the zone. DJ's got it behind the net. Picking his head up, skating forward, almost skated himself into some trouble, knocked off of his stick. Puck is shot on net and saved and frozen by Irish. Defensive zone face-off on the stick side of the goalie, won by Waterloo. Shot, knocked out of the middle by DJ. Another shot coming back in, back off of DJ. Shot again, in feet, behind the net. Player is able to wind it up the boards. Ellis tries to stop it, deflected from Clara behind the net. Ellis with the interception, now taken off of his stick, knocked off of Waterloo player. Ellis with the puck, got one player in front of him, tries to bring it through him, able to successfully, but loses the race to the puck. Waterloo coming with some speed, got a 4-on-2 developing. Coming down the middle of the ice, able to do pretty well with it. Puck still loose in the low slot area, but out to Breck Johnson. And time is out for your second period. Second period intermission. Bit of a rough period on the scoreboard for your Riders. Going to need to buckle down and try to go win the third period here. Looks like we got LT and Jack talking to the team now. Trying to give them a few pointers before we get the third period started. Just a reminder, third period's going to be a little different clockwise than your first two. There's no longer going to be running time. It is going to be a stop clock. 15 seconds left in the intermission until we get rolling again for a third period of action between the Waterloo Blackhawks, who are up 5-1 on your Cedar Rapids Roughriders. Switching sides again, so your Roughriders will now be skating from right to left on your screen, while the Waterloo Blackhawks will be skating from left to right. Starters for your third period are Clara, Wyatt, and Jackson Jerk. For your forwards, Maverick and Liam on D. Officials are ready for the third period. 12 minutes left on the clock. Let's go Riders. A little delay here. We're waiting for the goalie. Face off. Won by Waterloo. Knocked into an open area. Liam Smith with the puck. Up to Jackson Jura. Lost the puck. Waterloo has it. Claire trying to steal the puck. Jackson Jura does steal it. Waterloo able to bring it into zone. Liam Smith with a very nice steal. Liam winding up some speed, trying to bring it down the center area. Does. Shot on net, saved by the goalie. Face-off ensuing in the offensive zone with Corbin centering Ellis and Jackson Baker. On your defensive line, you've got Breck Johnson and DJ Elliott. Face-off is lost to Waterloo. Puck comes up to Breck. Shot blocked. Waterloo has it, trying to break it out now. DJ able to break that up, knock the puck off of the stick. Waterloo was still able to find it though. Now kind of behind the net. DJ working hard to be a nuisance. Puck comes up to the point. Ellis trying to block. Stopped by Iris, and we have a save and a frozen puck. 10:58 remaining in the third period. Jack Jackson and Flynn back out there. Jack wins the faceoff, tries to pass it up to Flynn, but intercepted. Puck knocked into Flynn's feet. Now into the offensive zone. Flynn or Jackson Hunt able to steal it. Shot by Flynn. Unfortunately, doesn't go in. Goalie makes a fantastic save while lying down. George coming over to retrieve the puck in the defensive zone. Passes it up. Jack getting it, winding up some speed. Player behind him, able to navigate the area, but puck knocked off of his stick by a Waterloo player. Waterloo's coming in now with a 3-on-2. George working hard to escort them out. A little bit of contact, but puck ends up out of the zone. Offside. Clara taking the face off. Clara wins the face off, but Waterloo wins the race to the puck. Puck bouncing up in the air. In some feet. Knocked to a Waterloo player. Shot. Save. Now Cedar Rapids starting to skate it out of their zone. Wyatt Monty has the puck. Skates it into a Waterloo defender. Big save from Iris. Kicks the puck out to the corner. Hard shot coming in. Blocked by Clara. Pass blocked by Liam Smith. Down the ice. And an icing. Corbin with a really good effort to put in a chase on a forecheck. Just couldn't quite get there. Face off, Waterloo up with the win. DJ knocked the puck off of the stick. Corbin gets it, passes it up. Ellis able to get it out of the zone. Jackson Baker in hot pursuit. Puck knocked off of the stick. And Corbin bringing the puck up. There's a very quick 2-on-1 developing. If Corbin can get the puck across, which does not happen, gets blocked by Waterloo. Waterloo coming back with some speed. Puck knocked off of the stick. Still there. Now out of the zone. Baker and Corbin putting in a good force check. Now just Corbin. Trying to stay with them. Pass in. And goal. 8:08 remaining in the third period. Play that was probably offside but not called. Ends up in a goal for the Riders. Or a goal for the Waterloo Blackhawks. Face off won by the Riders. Jack Kettleson pulls it into the offensive zone. Pass behind Flynn. Waterloo breaking it back out with some speed. Pass coming in off of Kettleson's stick. Eventually gets to a Waterloo player, now behind the net. Kettleson takes it behind the net. Tries to pass it up. Waterloo player in the way. Now pass out to Flynn Hansen. Pass up to Jackson Hunt, but puck was stolen. Long lead pass out to a Waterloo player. Intercepted. Now back out to center ice and stolen by Waterloo. And we've got a penalty coming for a trip on your Roughriders. Waterloo going on the power play with 7:15 remaining in the third period. Face off won by Waterloo. Tied up in skates right now. Jack Kettleson with the puck, skating it up. Pass attempted up to Jackson Jerp, intercepted by Waterloo. Shot on net, saved by Iris, and we have a pause in play here with 1:15 remaining in the penalty. Just under 7 minutes left in the third period. Face off won by your Riders. Jack Kettleson pulling the puck up, tries to get around someone to center ice, passes it over. Now back to him. Puck almost on the goal line, pulled off the goal line by a Waterloo defender. Gavin Sebring with a nice hard shot off of the goalie's pads. Another shot off the behind the net. Gavin Sebring jumping in to get it. Jack Kettleson now having it. Puck is tied up along the boards. Waterloo comes out with it. Corbin then steals the puck, tries to get it into the center where there's nobody there right now. Puck dumped in by Waterloo. Not going to go far enough for an icing. Gavin Sebring able to collect behind the net. Pass up to Jack Kettleson. Backhand pass out of the zone. And stolen by Waterloo and back into the zone. Waterloo collects it back at center ice. Stolen off of the Waterloo stick by Cedar Rapids. And around the net. Jackson Hunt out of the box. Gets a breakaway coming. Missed the net. Maverick tries to collect it. Corbin at top of the ice. Waterloo now skating it up. Flynn brings it into the zone. Knocked off of his stick. Waterloo bringing it in, 2-on-2. Big save by Iris off the glass. Stolen by Jackson Jerp off of Jackson Hunt's stick. Puck back into the Waterloo offensive zone. Knocked off of his stick. Now in some feet and goal. .440 left in the third period. It is now 7-1 Waterloo. Face off, Waterloo wins. Now Jackson Hunt stole it. Brings it into the zone, knocked off the stick. Shot stopped by DJ Elliott. Passed out of the zone. Stolen by Waterloo. Waterloo bringing it back in. Puck brought around DJ off of the Iris on a shot. Puck coming back out to the point. Stolen by Jackson Hunt. Liam comes in, helps it get a little bit further. Puck into the zone. Kettleson bringing it a little bit closer. Lynn with the puck. Shot on net. And some contact behind the play, but no call. Offside. Coming across the blue line into the offensive zone. 3 minutes remaining in the third period, and because of the goal spread, we are now on a running clock. Face off won by Waterloo. Cedar Rapids able to steal it. Puck now into the zone. Cedar Rapids able to get it out, but Waterloo brings it back in offside. Face off win by Waterloo. Brought it into the zone. Good keep by the Waterloo defensive person. Waterloo throws it behind the net. Try to get a pass out in front off of George's skate and back into the corner. Puck's down low. Waterloo tries to bring it up, but Cedar Rapids player in the way. Pass up to Corbin Zek. Pass across to Ellis. On his backhand, pass across. And play was stopped. Minute and a half remaining. Shot by Jack, missed the net. Time around, Liam able to stop it and keep it in, put it back down low. Jack Edison gets it behind the net. Knocked off of his stick by a Waterloo defender. Waterloo has it, starting to break out. Waterloo able to get it past our defenseman. Puck comes back in and offside. 30 seconds remaining in the game. Face off, won by Waterloo. Pucks into the zone. Hard hit by Maverick. Just is able to knock it out. Pass across. Gavin putting in a good forecheck at the end of the game here. Pass it back to him. Didn't connect. Liam with a very, very good angle. Took the puck away, skating it behind the net. Unfortunately, passed it to an empty area. Shots. Liam blocked it at the end, and that is your game, ladies and gentlemen. Your final for this one, Waterloo 7, your Riders 1. Solid effort today from the Riders. Good hard week of practice upcoming, and then they are going to be off at a tournament in St. Louis this coming weekend. Plan is to stream from all of those games if we're able to have Wi-Fi coverage. So until next time, we will see you then.